Wine.
Water. Free wine.
Bloody Mary.
Oh.
Gin and tonic out of a rotary glass. I don't know if you can see the logo on there.
I can see it. Yep. And John's doing wine. Some of your own there, John?
No, this is actually a white wine Traminette, and I don't know which winery it's from. We're members of a club. We get a case every month, and we just go with that. But I'd like to introduce my new writing buddy. This is Vaxi the Seventh. And I don't know if you can see, but in polio now.
You took him to India?
I took Vaxi the Sixth to India, and then he was absconded with by our two organizers. he now lives in Roanoke. So this is Vaxi the Seventh.
For some of you that haven't done so, if you go over on your name and right-click on your name, you can change it to your name and location there, if you would like. Sometimes that's fun. Actually, you can change it to anything you want.
Ooh.
Who's got the bird?
That's me. I got two of them.
When did you feed him last?
They eat all the time. They just they get excited when they hear other people.
Bill, tilt. There you go.
Hi.
How you doing,
Derek? I'm good. I'm good. I mistimed how much time I had to get my cup of tea, so that's why I was absent for a bit. Now I got it. So I'm good to go. What's up?
I'm just kind of tickled to see everybody here tonight. That's pretty cool.
Good. Yeah, it is. It is.
Hey, before we do anything else, I realize we have an opening next week for a speaker, and wasn't paying attention to it. Now I'm looking. Generally, what we've done in the first meetings of the month, we've had one of our members speak about something. Typically, since we're kind of new in the group, or speaking about themselves has been a good thing. And then the second meeting of the month, we have an invited person from somewhere on the outside that comes and speaks. We've got that lined up for a couple months now. Anybody here present that's interested in volunteering here?
In the future, not right for next week.
I have a presentation from my trip to India last month, if you're interested.
We can make that a backup, John. You spoke here a couple months ago, and some of us have. So
yeah, but I like to hear myself talk.
Don't we all?
Spoke like a true past district governor,
or an academic, which is my case.
Anybody else? All right, John. You're going to talk about polio next week. You want to update the website there, Linda?
It's going to be more than polio. It'll be the trip to India.
Okay.
I'll have a PowerPoint, so I'll need to work with you about how to get that on the screen. I have it on a thumbnail.
If you can get it on your screen, you can get it on ours just with a click of a button.
Okay.
Jerry, do you have any audio for me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, you're coming through like two different speakers on the desk.
I can barely hear you, but can you hear us okay?
Yeah, let me see.
Oop. Why is that thing running?
Your device is disconnected.
Oops.
How about now? Is that any better, Jerry?
We can hear you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Sorry.
Amanda, where in Northern Virginia are you?
I'm currently sitting in Tyson's Corner, which is super lame because I'm at my desk, but my house is in Ashburn, just outside of Dulles Airport.
So you're not too far from Gettysburg.
No, sir. I go up there pretty often. Actually, my kids both play rugby, and we do a lot of gymnastic stuff. We travel up that way quite often.
Well, stop by the Adams County Winery or the Fairfield Inn and say hi next time.
Will do. Thank you.
John's got a bottle or two of nice wines there in his And the food's not bad where he's at either. Actually, it's pretty good.
My husband's actually a sommelier,
Oh, wow.
which is
I'm impressed.
Did you hear that, John? You're muted, John.
I missed what she said.
my husband is a sommelier.
Well, I'm not that good.
He's not that good either.
He's not that good. Is that his full-time job, Amanda?
Yeah, it is.
There's two kinds of wines, in my opinion: those that you like and those you don't like.
He would
Okay,
say
sure.
the exact same thing. There's no such thing as a good wine you don't like.
It's pretty funny.
Jerry, I saw friends posting that it was in the 60s in Michigan today, and you're supposed to get snow again on Thursday.
Yeah. I had the motorcycle out. I got about 70 miles on it today in between meetings. So it was good.
You're a braver man than I am. There are a lot of guys riding around here in North Jersey, but it's still a little too cold for me.
Oh, it was pretty close to 60 today, but it was, I'll ride anytime it's above 30 degrees as long as the salt and the ice are gone.
Yeah.
And we had a nice rainstorm last week that just got rid of all that salt, so that's a good deal. Now, the only danger that we have around here is there's some massive potholes you got to watch for.
Not like in northern New Jersey, or at least in the county where I am. It's notorious. The highways are okay, but the local roads just are awful. You're in Detroit? You're in Detroit, Jerry?
Yeah, just outside Detroit.
I figure you weren't in the city.
Actually,
I really don't know anything about it. I've never been there, so I don't know.
I live out in the country just on the north side of the northern suburbs.
Nice.
I'm trying to log into our website here on the other side here. Anyway, I tell you, both Brian and I see Brian joining us there. A little frustrated with our website this last week.
Why?
And well, it's we've got this new creation called associate member, which is unknown in the Rotary world and certainly unknown by Club Runner. And we've been working with them, originally up until now. I've been tracking it in our database as honorary members, which has worked just fine. Now we went ahead and created a position for me for associate member, but screwed up things like attendance and billing and everything else. So I got to get on the phone and work with them. They're nice people. They're very nice people, but just time. Takes time to do that sort of thing.
Yep.
Takes time. So
I'm having a trouble with Club Runner in that when I sign on to Motorcycling Rotarians, then I can't sign in to my home club, which also uses Club Runner.
yeah, I've got that problem. I think I've got 5 accounts in multiple systems, and you can't be in any one of them at the same time.
Right.
Which makes it a little bit difficult when you're trying to work between 2 different membership databases to come up with some numbers and stuff.
You have to log out. You have to log out, and that way your cookie gets unset, and then you can go log into the other one.
Yeah, but my problem is I want to be in both of them
at the same time.
I've done it. I do it with 2 computers, but
yeah.
So
Gary, what browser are you using?
tonight I'm using Explorer. Normally I use Chrome.
Have you tried to open one in Chrome and one in incognito mode in Chrome?
That would be smart, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if we were sharper. Yeah, I would.
Normally I come up with ideas like that. I must be getting old.
I'm still at work. I'm still thinking tech, I guess.
How long does it take you to get home, Amanda?
If I leave now, it'll take me about 26 minutes. If I leave during rush hour, it'll take me about an hour.
Yeah.
But I have a Jeep, and it's sunny and nice right now, so that's okay.
And where are you?
In Northern Virginia.
Okay, and it's sunny and nice?
It is. It was 60 something today.
Mm.
I think. I didn't go out in it. It was nice when I parked.
So, well, Brian's got some news to share with us. Brian? You got to come off mute there, pal.
I'm trying.
There you go.
So I got my hospital assignment, and I will be at Jackson Memorial Hospital working as an intern in Florida for the next 2 years. So I passed my exam, and things are moving forward.
Good for you.
What part of Miami is that?
It's in South Miami. It's kind of out, sort of closer down towards what am I, Coral Gables in that area.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. So my
so
friend
like-
there is actually going to be kind of close to you then.
Yeah, and it's sort of adjacent. So if you drew a line straight from the airport out to Miami, the Strand, you'd go right through Jackson Memorial and a few of the other hospitals that I'll be working in.
Is that where you live now, Brian?
No, we're currently in Sun Lakes, Arizona.
Oh, that's a change.
Yeah, well,
Feel free to shoot me a note if you have any question on neighborhoods, because I lived down there for a year.
oh, that's great. I appreciate that.
I can tell you where not to go for sure.
And I got a couple Rotary friends down there if you need some connections.
Okay, John. Thanks.
No, that's one of the cool things about Rotary is you run into people everywhere.
That's right. That's right.
Brian's got some interesting background for the last, 6 months?
Yeah, we got blown out of St. Martin by Hurricane Irma.
Yeah.
So then we finished up the studies here in Arizona, and then I took my exam. So then school says, okay, you're off to Miami. So that's where we go.
Where are you in Arizona?
In Sun Lakes.
Is that anywhere close to Phoenix?
Yeah, about 25 minutes.
Yeah, my sister's in Chandler.
Yeah, we're right back to back with Chandler.
Brian, you had 2 years of, what do you call it?
What they call it is basic sciences, and then you go and you do your rotation, your hospital rotations after that.
Yeah.
So my basic sciences I did in St. Martin.
Yeah. And do we start calling you doctor yet?
You start calling me doctor officially as soon as I put my coat on and start in the hospital.
Awesome.
The graduation, they call you doctor, but it's not official. After
Gotta have that
graduation,
job or that intern or whatever first. Huh?
Yeah, I graduate in 2019, and then you'll call me doctor for real.
But
Residency is what I was thinking. That's the term, right?
Yeah.
But you know, with this group, ain't nobody gets no respect.
No, that's right. It's a good thing too, because I'm kind of an irreverent bastard anyway.
Okay, Brian, this is one of those small world things. My proposal manager here, Brandon, his cousin was in St. Martin, and I just asked him, hey, is your cousin still in school in St. Martin? He said, no, the med school was completely demolished. He evacuated. His last name is Raum, R-O-U-M. Do you know that guy?
You know, which school was he in? There's 2 med schools there.
I don't know.
Ask him if he was at AUC or... Because AUC was not destroyed. They've started up this semester. They've started up again.
That's too funny if you guys know each other. How's that for small world?
What's the? I wouldn't recognize the last name probably.
Yeah, I just asked him what his first name is.
Yeah. It's a big school. We have about 2,000 students on campus at any time.
Is this one of those moments where I roll my eyes when people are like, oh, you're from Michigan? Do you know? His first name is Greg.
Greg Rome. It doesn't ring a bell.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
John, are you raising your hand there, John, or what?
Yeah, this is my Michigan map here. Where are you?
Yeah, right. So did he say he was at AUC?
He didn't. He's looking at right now.
Okay, okay.
And giving me all kinds of, why are you asking? I'm so curious. Because I'm nosy.
Well-
Yes, he was at AUC.
Our
Okay.
small world is Amanda, and we're going to hear from her in a couple months anyway about her background. But the club that I'm going to be transferring out of when we charter, and the club that Rory and Judy used to be in, we sponsored Amanda as an exchange student way back when.
Hey, not that way back when.
Okay,
Well,
hey, Dave
3 or
Doherty.
4 years ago. How's that?
200 years ago, yeah.
Dave
Oh,
Doherty,
was
I
it?
sent you, Dave Doherty, I sent you a private chat.
Uh-oh.
Don't worry, it's okay.
I think the smallest world moment, Jerry, you'll appreciate this one, was when I was in Kuwait redeploying from Iraq. And I was sick as a dog. And I heard a voice behind me. And I was like, that sounds just like somebody I went to high school with. That sounds just like Consuelo Giroux. And I turned around and it was her.
Oh, my goodness.
I had no idea she joined the Army. She didn't know I'd joined the Army. And her sister Angela and I she was in the choir with me at St. Rita's. We graduated together. And then she ended up getting stationed, her husband ended up getting stationed here in Maryland, and we reconnected then 10 years ago. And then she called me and she said, hey, we're getting stationed out at Fort Carson. Weren't you out there before? And I was like, absolutely was. Crazy. I can't believe you're going there. So then when we moved back out to Colorado, she was there still.
So who's stalking who?
Like, I don't know. I think we're kind of both stalking each other at this point.
It must be tough, Fiends. Is 4th Infantry Division still at Carson?
So 4th is back at Carson. When I was there, I was with the 3rd Armored Cav.
Because in about 1985, we did a test with the 4th Infantry when General Menetry was the division commander.
Yeah.
We'll have a beer and talk about that one.
It's funny. I'm actually sharing an office now. We've got somebody who's temporarily in my office space. And they asked me when they came on, and like, do you know this guy? And I laughed, and I was like, I've known this guy since I was 25 years old, and I was his translator, and he was a sergeant major.
My what do you
Yeah,
know?
Bruce.
Hello, how are you now?
There you go.
A little bit of technical difficulty at my end, but we're here now.
Of us lost our jobs.
My Isn't It a Small World occurred a couple of years ago when I found that a high school classmate of mine from Bellevue, Nebraska, had moved out to someplace in California, and she had become district governor the year before I was. I thought that was a thing.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Jerry,
I grew up in Iowa, and my wife is from Marion, Iowa. And the gal that was governor of the district up in Alaska at the very same time I was governor here in Michigan, had went to the there's 2 high schools in Marion, Iowa, and she went to the other high school where my wife was in, there as well. I think people keep stumbling over themselves all over this world. What is it, 6 degrees of freedom, right? Or 6 degrees of...
6 degrees of separation.
I don't think it's even 6 anymore with social media and everything. Ron, are you drinking water or is that vodka?
It's water. It's still 4 o'clock here, so it's a little early.
That sounds like an excuse.
Well, in a way it is. It won't be long. I'm sorry I was late, but I actually had a window of opportunity to go for a ride, so I did it. So that was more fun than sitting here talking to you guys. No offense.
I just got in 10 minutes before we started up here tonight. I was out riding again. And yes, Judy, I managed to scrape the pegs, both sides.
You don't like those pegs, do you?
I was like, well, it's going to be the first ride of the season. We'll see how the skills are. Surprise.
I got out a couple days ago, and it just felt good.
Which
Rory,
motorcycle?
tell us about your new bike.
Who you talking to?
Rory. Tell us about your new bike.
Well, we went out to Altoona, saw Steve Seltzer, and picked out a 2018 Gold Wing Tour. Kind of intrigued, so we went with the dual clutch transmission model.
What's that like?
Pardon?
What is that like shifting? I mean, it's auto shifts, right?
It auto shifts. You can do it by your thumb and your forefinger on the left hand if you want to, but it's really strange when you come up to that first stop and there's no clutch.
Oh, there's not even a lever.
There's no clutch and there's no shifter.
Oh my goodness.
So it's like, okay, but you can't come up to the light anymore and sit there and rev it up a little bit, because you rev it up, it moves, unless you put it in neutral.
It's really smooth though. For me as a passenger, very smooth.
No helmet knocking when we're accelerating, you know.
Oh wow.
But it moves really nice. Put the windshield up electrically, that's great, and it blocks the wind off of her really well. So.
What's that other bike that has automatic transmission?
Can-Am.
No, it's a brand name.
The FJR 1300 came out with an electric transmission as well.
By Suzuki, Bergman's got it.
No, Honda had one on their 750 a few years back.
Well, they did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I got a 750, among other things, but I didn't know they made an automatic. I'm a big fan of automatics.
Have you tried that walk-in pace feature?
Not yet. The bike's still sitting in Altoona, and I'm in Michigan. I have to clean up my bike and take some of the old pitted chrome accessories off, clean it up a little bit, take it back, trade it in.
When we going?
When the weather breaks.
Hopefully by the end of March, Jerry. That's our plan.
Okay.
I've already been on contact with Rivco. They're working on a trailer hitch for it already.
I was thinking of a Ridley.
A Ridley?
Yeah.
It's a brand name. They have automatic transmission. It's not a particularly attractive bike, but
No,
whatever floats your boat.
we've had it for years.
Ridley?
Yeah, Ridley.
Ridley.
Who makes it? Or where is it made?
Ridley.
I don't know. I just Googled it, and it's Ridley. I don't even know if they still make it.
They do.
Back in '75, Honda made a Honda 750 with an automatic for a couple of years.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Based out of Oklahoma, privately held until 2010.
Ridley.
Ridley Motorcycle Company.
Huh.
Yeah, no, it rides really nice. It's got, what is it, sport mode, economy mode, rain mode, which really knocks down the torque bit on that. It's got the touring mode. So touring and sport are probably where it's going to be most, but I did get a chance when I took it on a test drive. I don't know if you were on Steve's ride. I took off through the section that he sent in the wood in the mountain area, and there was rain, there was dry, there was dirt on the road, and lots of curves. So it was like, okay, well, I got to try out all the modes within a matter of 5 miles.
I understand that new bike has most of the features that have been on my BMW for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
The rain mode and
Here we go.
I've ridden a BMW. I like my Honda.
I recently got a new 1200 RS BMW.
Yeah.
And it's got the shift assist. It's not an automatic, but you don't have to use the clutch much of the time. And that actually is pretty smooth. And it's got all the modes and everything, of course. And it's so many bells and whistles. It's almost too much to play with sometimes, but I really do enjoy it. It's a great bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got the XM radio. It came in with a nav system on it. What else? Now, not a whole lot. Oh, I've got lights underneath it now, so when you walk up to it at night, the lights come on and show the area around it.
Judy's shaking her head in the back.
Do you have to have a second battery to run all that stuff?
No, everything's LED. But no, it's that like maroon red or candy apple red, deep red, whatever you want to call it. Had a choice of red, white, or blue. That was it.
Did they have them on the floor?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I took the DTC one out for test drive. What a clutch one's like. So that one out, played with it, and come back, and they had another one that was on the floor, and that's kind of talked about it, and that's one we went with.
He's got a nice little dealership there, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's one of the. He sells quite a few Goldwings, Honda bikes in his showroom. Oh.
Did you get to meet the dog?
Pardon?
Did you get to meet the dog?
Oh yeah.
I think over the last half a dozen or so years now, Steve's only been on 2 of our rides, one of which he led. But he's one really, really great guy.
He's the one that introduced me to that Pennsylvania thing where those signs with the numbers on them are merely suggestions.
Yeah, we were on one of the fastest rides we've been on with him.
And Roy, those 8-sided red signs,
They don't mean much.
those are also suggestions.
Well, I was following behind him. We went by. I saw a sheriff come out of a building on our right-hand side, and he never slowed down, so nobody else slowed down, and he just watched us all go by. So I figured, well, if he's going to get away with it like that, we'll just keep up with him.
Our retired police officer, Harold, sitting there, I can hear the wheels turning. He's on mute. He's not going to say anything, are you? Oh, there he comes.
Oh, I'm here. I'm listening.
He's taking copious notes.
That's a pass life.
I actually learned when I was getting ready to be an outbound exchange student that the term for what Rory is referring to is called a white rabbit. That car that gets in front of you and goes fast. I learned that on the 401 headed towards Hamilton. Let the white rabbit go, and you wait for about 3 seconds, and then you go.
Yeah. You can only catch one at a time.
Yeah.
Oh, it got quiet all of a sudden.
Hey, John, how's it coming for the spring ride?
He's on mute, so we can't hear him.
Where is he?
He should mute.
I could get unlazy here and unmute him.
There. Oh, I'm having screenshot. I put out all the information. I gave a set of the information to Jerry and one to Mr. Pack Up the Food.
Chris Jones.
Thank you, Chris. And hopefully they're going to get that all published on the websites. I put it on the IFMR Facebook page, all the hotels that you need and the rates and the secret codes. So I don't know how many people have signed up. I know I've signed up. But it'd be nice to have a nice showing. It's not that far from you, Amanda. It's just starting at Front Royal.
They'd even let you follow in your Jeep, Amanda.
That's what I was going to say. You guys need a chase vehicle. I'll totally come chase. I've got a trailer hit. I sent an invite to a couple of people that I know around here who ride and might be interested in Rotary, and I did tell them that was the carrot that I dangled, that there's a ride coming up.
Jerry, have you put that information anywhere?
I have not. I thought it was up on our website, but you know what? Linda's been taking care of that. Let me forward that to her right now.
Okay. Chris is a traveling man, so he's going to get to it, I think, this week or next week.
I'm forwarding that right now to Here we go.
I'm planning on coming, John, depending on the weather, whether I'll just highball it down on the bike in one day or throw the bike on the trailer and come. We'll see what the weather's like. I know there's Kenton Acton and his wife and son are planning to come. I think Glenda's spoken with them about going. So
Yes, I have.
yeah.
And I talked to the hotel that's in Front Royal, and they said they're okay with the trailers. They got a special place in the back 40 where you can park a trailer and then pick it up on Sunday.
Okay, so the plan is to transport gear from one hotel to the next?
And the way I have it set up is whatever you can get on your bike, you'll carry. We'll wind up in Canaan Valley on Saturday, and then Sunday's up to you. You can go back to pick up your trailer in Front Royal. It's a day's ride in the back hills. Doing a spring ride is so tough because people have district conferences, there's weddings, there's family events, there's holidays, etc. But I think this is the least unfavorable weekend.
Which weekend is it, John?
25th of May, somewhere in there.
It's actually Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah. So you could actually ride for 2 more days if you wanted.
And then you guys could come down here and join the Rolling Thunder in DC, because that's a fun ride.
Well, it is, but you spend all day waiting.
You spend all day stuck in fumes is what you do.
Yeah. I went down there a couple of years ago, and I got there about 10, and I was in the north parking lot, and me and my buddy just hung around for like 5 hours. No, I'm not opposed to it. Just plan on spending time waiting.
While you guys are doing that, I'll be in Amsterdam. And,
oh, poor baby.
It's just going to be tough. We don't know whether we want to go into Belgium or Denmark, but we'll be riding.
I was intending to come, and then 2 weeks ago I got asked to, my hometown high school's got a new award, and I've been selected for it, and I'm speaking at commencement. So,
congratulations.
Yeah, I've agreed to do it. It's something to do with inspiring young people to go out and change the world, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
You need an
beg your pardon?
You need an armed guard?
My
they got armed teachers.
We're waking up now.
60. It's not much bigger than that yet.
If only there was some sort of organization that you could join that would help you change the world.
I'm going to give an assignment to you guys. Speaking of that and inspiring young people and getting them into that organization that helps change the world, those of you that are on that ride with John, Quinn, when he just talked to, Bruce just talked about Quinn coming down. I've talked to him, and I've got him half interested in our club, him and his sister, okay? So keep working on him. Some of the members have contributed, and we have some funds to help supplement those young people's dues so that we can get them involved. Quinn's, I think, 19 now. He might be just turned 20, so I think he'd be a great addition. I still remember, I think he was 16 when he first rode with us, wasn't he, Bruce?
He had to have been 17 to have had his bike license.
Well,
but
he
yeah.
went home and he was he became a Facebook friend of mine, and then he posted, I had this greatest weekend with all these old guys. It was kind of fun. So I think he'd be a good addition, he and his sister. So work on him. Work on him.
Yep, we'll do that. I think you've got Kenton, don't you, as an associate member?
Yeah, we do. But work on those kids.
All right. He's down, he's at trade school at the moment, I understand, down in London, Ontario.
Quinn is?
Yeah.
He's actually working in his dad's business, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Was that the kid that was on a crotch rocket when we went to that one place where it started snowing inside the museum?
I'm sure it was, yeah.
He came on the Du Bois ride, I believe, is where he first came down with us.
Yeah.
Who I think it was. He seemed like a nice kid.
Oh, he's a very nice kid. And yeah, he was on a crotch. Actually, there's two of the guys who were on crotch rockets. He and, was it Brad?
Brad Locking. Brad Locking. We got about 2 hours south of it's 2 hours into our 10-hour ride. I remember Brad starting to get up, and he was stretching and shifting, and he looked really uncomfortable on that bike. And he had 8 more hours to go.
That's a long way on one of those.
It was. I think he's got a new bike now. I'm not sure what it is, and I think I've heard he's planning on coming to John's ride.
Oh, fantastic.
Should be a good Canadian showing.
Now the key question for Canada is Justin Trudeau going to be able to keep office now that the Canadians have lost at curling and hockey?
Oh. The challenge is out there.
There's always
I'm just asking.
That is cold-blooded, John. That is cold-blooded.
No, I'm just asking. You know, I try to keep up with current events.
Well, you just tell Trump to quit picking on us Canadians.
He picks on us.
I'll get right on that.
Somebody at my office wrote on the board in the conference room today, what is your favorite moment of the Olympics? And I actually wrote my favorite moment of the Olympics was watching the Canadian women's curling team, but it wasn't the women, it was the husband who was watching at 9 a.m. with 2 beers in his hand.
Never too early to start when you're on holidays.
We actually, Jerry, when we did our National Lampoon's summer vacation trip when we moved from Virginia to Colorado, we went from Virginia up through Michigan and across Wisconsin and Minnesota and North Dakota and then Montana, Wyoming, and Colorado because we're stupid and we've got teenagers. But we went to the world's largest hockey puck and world's largest hockey stick, which are in Virginia, Minnesota, outside of the Curling Hall of Fame.
There's a curling Hall of Fame?
There
Who
is.
knew?
In Virginia, Minnesota.
I think there's a replica at Wall Drug, too.
Probably is.
I missed that on my trip when I was out there in the West. I did see the world's largest buffalo, though.
Nice. I think we missed that one. I have been to the world's largest ball of sisal twine, which is in
Heard
Kansas.
about that.
Where's that
This
at?
is what happens when you let your 16-year-old boy child and his dad plan the trip. We went to the world's largest everythings, but we did miss the mobile museum of the world's smallest versions of the world's largest things. We missed that one because they weren't there.
Lucky.
Huh.
Somewhere I ran across both the National Clown Museum and the Dan Quayle Museum. And my immediate thought was, why aren't they co-located?
I just thought the same thing when you said that, John.
That is old politics. Man, that's going back 20, 30 years, isn't it? 25 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Goes fast, don't it?
Yeah. Time flies. Doesn't matter whether you have fun or not anymore.
Or not. That's right.
And I think in my case, the mileage is also piling up.
How does that go, Jerry? Objects in mirror may be closer than they appear.
Linda's being quiet tonight.
Tired, long day.
Oh my. Did you get my message? I forwarded John's.
I did. I already responded back.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You're so nice. Thank you so much. John, Linda's got it covered.
If Linda has it, the job is done.
You got
One
that
of these days.
You got that right.
Hey, how many people here are planning on attending? Not everybody at once. Hey, you coming?
Linda, you think about going? You're on mute, dear.
Where am I going?
Convention.
Huh?
Convention.
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
The
I am.
spring ride.
No, not this year. Not this year. I got a house to sell.
Dave, are you coming? I promise to avoid mud roads.
Oh,
We-
sad.
John, we would normally come, but we're going to be gone a lot this summer, and I'm not going to give up any more time at the lake than I have to.
I believe it's called Alaska.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, somebody's dragging somebody. I don't know who.
Yeah. I don't know who's dragging who, but we just decided I'm going to have to give up about 5 weeks at the lake, and we're going to have our kids over for the weekend. So,
My wife is retiring around the 1st of July, July 6th to be exact. So we're kind of not sure what we're going to be doing all this summer, but we're still thinking about the trip.
Well, be glad to have whoever we can. That I watched the repeat of that last week's session, picked up a couple things. First of all, I want to take issue with Jerry. That was not a slimy road. It was just muddy.
Well,
No, the first guy went through. It was slimy when the 13th guy went through.
Getting hung up on semantics there, John.
There was a couple of those Harleys in the middle leaking oil into it, you know?
Well, the learning point was made. I'll be going down probably early May to do the recon.
We all make those mistakes or make mistakes. Let's put it that way. I've made
John,
a few bad
I will try to at least meet you guys out there and say hi and shake your hand. I don't know.
Sounds-
I won't have a motorcycle by then.
How many of you all are planning on going to the international convention by chance in Toronto?
Me.
I'm really trying, but I don't have a room set up for my wife and I. I have tickets to the event, but I don't have a room, so we'll see.
Ah, well, we're staying, or I'm staying out. Oh, I have to look at it.
A Holiday Inn outside of town?
Well, we're right on a train line to get in.
Yeah, Oakville.
Oakville, Holiday Inn, Oakville
Yeah,
Center?
I think it's Holiday Inn, yeah. Oakville.
Yeah, are you there, Bill?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, I've got a room up there too. John, you were thinking about changing. Are you just?
I changed, and my sister, who's been a Rotarian for less than 2 years, is coming to the convention, her first convention. I expect you all to treat her nicely because she occasionally thinks I'm a nice guy.
Well, why should we disabuse her of that?
Oh, wait a minute. Let's be technical here. Do we have to treat you nicely in front of her or just her nicely?
Just her nicely.
Oh,
That's what I thought.
then we're good.
She just got over a divorce, so
Ooh.
You know, she's doing all right. It was a good move for her.
Does she ride a motorcycle?
No, and she thinks I'm nuts. Of course, she's always thought that.
You don't have that spare motorcycle yet?
I have one. It cranks nicely. It just doesn't fire up.
It doesn't move.
Yeah, that's pretty. And I'm not sure how to get it up there because Toronto's only like a 6-hour drive for me.
You got to put spark plugs in that thing, John.
Is that what it is?
Gas.
Gas.
Gas works.
Gas, spark plugs.
Little combustion. Yeah.
On the motor?
Yeah, sure. You know, there's absolutely no mercy in this group.
This is a tough crowd.
It is, and I love it that way. As a friend of mine said, I give it, so I have to take it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how to feel loved unless there was a little abuse on the backside of it, for goodness sake.
On a more positive or fun note, we had our pets last weekend. We have a 5-district pets that we conduct in King of Prussia. I'm telling you, I'm very impressed with the incoming presidents this year for our 5 districts. Rotary is in good hands.
That's pretty cool. Ours is coming up in 7th or 15th of March, 15th, 16th, 17th of March. And I'm going, this will be the 13th one of them I've been to, I think.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, geez.
You thinking about becoming club president there, Jerry?
No, I agreed to be vice governor for the 2nd year in a row in our district. So I go up there to be prepped to be the backup plan. Vice governor in our district is the person that becomes governor the instant the governor dies, if that should so badly happen. And it's happened now. Basically, we've had 3 times in our district's history. One of them is in 2013. The governor has passed away during the year. And the one in 2013, we weren't prepared for it. It was 2 days into the district year.
Our vice is always the immediate past district governor. And in our zone, year before last, we had one person who went through all the training, 2-3 years of training, went out to San Diego and got back, and just before she was to be installed, quit Rotary.
Oh my goodness.
Quit Rotary. And so David Forward, who you all know is the author of all the Rotary history books, agreed to stay on another year. And then the district to our south, which is not in our zone, the incoming governor had the temerity to die. So the sitting governor agreed to stay another year. She's a cool lady.
Actually, the year I was governor, out of the 530 of us, 2 or 3 of us came down with serious life diseases, and I think 2 of them passed away in the office. So, kind of an interesting thing. I think stress plays a role in some of that. I don't know.
Great recommendation to be district governor.
Yeah, there's everybody else. I'm not going to be governor. But it was also a pleasure to be governor too. So
I had a good time.
Just once is enough.
Thank you. And now Ravi was my president. I understand that he actually fired a couple guys.
Oh yeah?
Because they were just not measuring up and doing anything. Either that or going off on their own tangent. Now that's from the rumor mill. But that
Probably happens more than we know.
Could be. I mean, how would you like to be the district governor that gets fired?
I don't know how that's actually possible. There's limitations in those manuals about that because the governor works for the Rotarians, not for the Rotary International president.
And that may have played into it. I don't know.
Yeah. Now, if on the other hand, the clubs in his district were not in cahoots, but part of the equation, maybe then the president executing that's not unreasonable.
That could be.
Yeah. Anyway.
One of my joys when I was district governor was firing a Rotarian. It was a guy that was well known, well heeled too, in one of the clubs, and he couldn't keep his hands off the ladies. And, got to the point that he even had 2 sons, one of whom was a lawyer in the same club, and they couldn't do anything with him. So another past district governor and it was my year as governor, had the joy of telling him he could no longer be a Rotarian.
That's got to be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harold, where are you in Charleston?
Pardon me?
Where are you in Charleston? I'm on Daniel Island.
I'm on James Island.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Huh.
Very nearby.
You two ought to meet sometime.
Yeah, we probably should do that. I work at the Naval Weapons Station in Charleston.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly where it is.
Yeah. So, yeah, I saw that. I thought I'd ask.
You know, a number of us have known Jim for a long time, ridden with him a few times. Jim's decided to join our club and be one of the charter members, not just an associate member. So we're thrilled about that.
I like the subject matter a lot in this club, so.
Well, we're running up close to the end here. I want to leave you with a thought. Yeah, a little more in the bear, huh? I just want to leave you with a thought. You know, I've got some papers that are going to be coming out with our chartering stuff and such. And when you see those, if you'd respond back quickly about that, I'd sure appreciate it. But now that we're getting close to being a real club, one of the things that you know, there's things that we don't struggle with. We don't struggle with getting great speakers like some clubs do. And this, we've learned, I think, that this whole electronic facility allows us some pretty cool opportunities that way. One of the things that is going to be more difficult for us is to doing community service type projects, okay? Spread out as we are. I mean, one thought I had is, you know, because the current president wants every Rotarian to plant a tree, we could pick a weekend and all plant a tree somewhere at our own discretion and then share that back with each other. But I guess I'm trying to open the floor to think about what you guys think about some of the things we might want to accomplish in terms of the service part of Rotary, both community-wise and world community-wise. I mean, your thoughts, and I'm wide open to those, you know, of course, and I think we all need to be wide open to those as to what ideas we all might have that we can share to do together somehow, some way.
So I'm somewhat partial to anything we can do with youth, right? The fact that we're in a virtual environment and we kind of do span all of the time zones in the U.S. makes it a little bit easier for us to do something like talk to kids who are maybe inbounds or potential inbound exchange students. We cover the entire U.S. as far as geography goes. We also cover the gambit when it comes to what a town would look like where we live. I think, Linda, I just looked you up. You've got like 900 people in your town, whereas I live in D.C., right? Very different.
Right.
So something like that where maybe we could actually have a meeting like this where somebody would call in or video in to ask questions, give them an idea of what to expect and, you know, just about the U.S. in general.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be a really cool kind of a international project that if I'm catching you right, that somebody's planning on coming as an exchange student has the opportunity to ask about Canada, the United States, because we kind of spread the whole area. Is that what
I mean, it's one thing that, and they may be doing it. I'm obviously 22 years removed, right? But when I was an outbound, I had one phone call with my host family, and that was, I don't speak Spanish very well at that point, you know, so it wasn't super enlightening. I went 3 weeks there and learning Spanish, and then went to school the first day and realized that I didn't understand anything because they didn't teach in Spanish. They taught in Valenciano, right? That was eye-opening. So things like that we could talk about, you know, I don't know, it could be just something as lighthearted and silly as, you know, local words that they wouldn't, you know, what would we call pop in Michigan, somebody else called soda. You guys call it all Coke down south, you know, something like that. That was, you know, just silly stuff like that. Something that gives them an idea of, you know, who we all are because we're pretty diverse.
No, that's not as silly as you think, Amanda. A lady I worked with from Thailand, we used to talk a little bit at break time. All of a sudden, she stopped me one day and says, wait a minute. She went over to Toolbox and got her 3x5 index cards out and said, now, what did you say? to have English lessons because I would use colloquialisms and just slang words, and she wanted to know what they meant.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's things that we just say mean something to us, but they have no clue.
I went the first couple weeks that I was in Spain. I thought everybody was telling me how constipated they were, and I was like, "What are you people eating? Why are you sharing this with me? And what are you eating?" And then I learned that constipado means stuffed up.
Yeah, when I was an exchange student, the cute one, a number of the girls got in trouble with it when sitting back from the table and saying, "I'm stuffed." Stuffed is a slang word there for being pregnant. And when I sat back and said, I got these strange looks, but the girls, because they're, generally as an exchange student, you, I don't know, for lack of a better description, you live a little more, and they get worried that you've gone out a little bit too much when you come back and say that.
You go to England, and we're two countries separated by a common language.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's coming up to the end of the hour here. Anybody else have something particular they wanted to share yet tonight?
Yeah.
All
Jess,
right.
I'm going to have to miss next week because I'm also helping a guy from my home club sort of revivify a club in a neighboring town. And has a lot of guests come in. There's generally more guests than there are potential members, but I feel sort of obligated to go and show my face. And it happens to be right at exactly the same time. It's the meeting is at 6. If we get done in time, and I can spend some time here, I'll come on. But I may have to skip next week.
Well, if everybody will unmute, okay? And I'm just, Amanda brought something up that I think would be kind of fun, and share what your word for soda or pop or whatever it is. So go ahead, Linda. What is it?
Soda.
I go by pop. Bill?
Soda.
Keith?
Soda.
Amanda?
I'm a pop drinker in an island of soda.
Judy?
Pop.
Harold?
Soda.
John? What's it going to be, John?
Cola.
David?
Soda.
Glenda?
Pop.
Bruce?
Pop.
Jim?
Soda.
The soda, huh? Brian?
Soda.
No matter what it is, I call it Coke.
You call it Coke? Rod?
Soda.
So Jim, if you get a 7-Up, is that a Coke too? I've never understood that. When my daughter told me that, she went to a seminary down there in Atlanta, and everything's a Coke, no matter whether they made it or not.
Brian's going to be a doctor.
Accuracy is important,
Well, with that, let's just sign off, and we'll see you all next week.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Hey, have a good one.
Great meeting. Thanks a lot.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
So long.
Good night.
See you, Bill.
Good night, Jerry. Have a good 2 weeks.